Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. Just wanted to post this quick video. A couple videos back I told you guys I had gotten the flu. I guess what I thought was the flu. And I don't know, every other day I start to feel better, and then I start to feel worse. So today I wasn't feeling too well, and I'm not feeling that well, so. But I definitely wanted to post this up because I think it relates well to the video that I posted yesterday, featuring the footage out of Iran that shows the bright, we'll just say luminous object being fired upon by anti-aircraft rounds by members of the Iranian military. So that was in our video yesterday, and if you haven't seen that, then check it out, and I'll put the link to it down in the video description. Basically, this happened in Tehran, the footage we posted yesterday. So they're firing at this UFO, looked like a glowing orb. And although we don't have a lot of information about what happened here with that particular UFO sighting, and believe me, I've been trying to find some more, what I have found out, and what I wanted to focus today's video on, is the fact that it would appear that this is not the first time that this has happened in Iran. Not only that, but not the first time that this has specifically happened in the city of Tehran, which is the capital of Iran. Quite the contrary, in fact. Iran has a history and is the location of one of the most infamous UFO sightings that you may have never heard of, and that is what is known as the 1976 Tehran UFO Incident. So in a nutshell, this incident was a radar and visual sighting of an unidentified object over Tehran during the early morning hours of September 19th, 1976. During the incident, two F-4 Phantom II fighter jets reported losing all instrumentation and communications as they approached the UFO, only to have them then restored once they withdrew and flew away from the unidentified object. One of the aircraft also reported suffering temporary weapon systems failure while preparing to open fire. Now, there is a wonderful article about this, and it's put out by Forbes.com, well-respected magazine and news outlet. And the article is entitled, "Did Iranian Fighters Battle UFOs?" And I'm just going to go ahead and read you an excerpt from this, because it's a very well-written article, and it pinpoints just how solid of a case this incident was, because even the writers of Forbes, which, commonly have nothing to do with UFOs, nor do they write articles on UFOs, to them even, this case is basically undeniable. There is no other explanation, other than what happened in the early morning hours that day in 1976 was something not of this planet. So the Air Force attempted to shoot down aircraft that didn't seem very Earth-like. The following information does not come from a conspiracy website. It's from an article last October in Combat Aircraft Monthly, a military aviation magazine that features some well-respected writers. The article on Iranian F14 Tomcat fighters by Babak Tugvay, who has written extensively on the Iranian Air Force, also recounts how Iran attempted to intercept what it had believed to be U.S. spy drones overflying its nuclear facilities. What is interesting in Tugvay's piece is how Iran describes the intruders, which the Iranians called, quote, luminous objects, in the belief that they were emitting light to enable night photography. According to Iranian sources, the CIA's intelligence drones displayed astonishing flight characteristics, including an ability to fly outside of the atmosphere, attain a maximum cruise speed of Mach 10, and a minimum speed of 0, with the ability to hover over the target. Finally, these drones used powerful ECM that could jam enemy radars using very high levels of magnetic energy, disrupting navigation systems. In one intercept over Arak nuclear facility in November 2004, an Iranian F14 Tomcat tried to lock its radar onto another luminous object, only to have the radar beam disrupted. The pilot described the object as being spherical, with something like a green afterburner, creating a considerable amount of turbulence behind it. The intruder then increased its speed and, quote, disappeared like a meteor. The tale took a deadly turn in January 2012 when an F-14 was scrambled to intercept an intruder flying towards the Bushehr nuclear power plant. Seconds after takeoff, the F-14 exploded, killing both crewmen. No cause for the tragedy was determined. So this was not the first time that Iranian fighters tangled with an alleged UFO. And as we go back to 1976, during the reign of the Shah, before the fundamentalists took over, Iranian F-4 Phantoms unsuccessfully attempted to intercept fast, bright, unidentified objects, only to have some unknown force knock out their instruments. Now, it is possible that jamming could have disrupted the dated 1970s radar of Iran's F-14s in the 2004 incident, while the other aircraft that exploded in 2012 may have been because it was using some sort of off-market parts smuggled past a Western embargo. But in that case, the question becomes, what kind of aircraft, or drone for that matter, flies at Mach 10? That is 10 times the speed of sound, or over 7,600 miles per hour. The legendary SR-71 Blackbird spy aircraft flew at around Mach 3. Some of the other aircraft that we know of that come even close to Mach 10 were the hypersonic aircraft by NASA, which was the experimental X-43 aircraft, which flew at Mach 9.68 in 2004. That program was terminated and briefly resurrected as the Air Force X-51 Wave Rider, which flew at about Mach 5 for about 4 minutes before plunging into the Pacific Ocean. But these projects were more like experimental missiles. And remember, this was in 1976. If these luminous UFOs really did fly at Mach 10, not only that, but also jammed radar systems and zoomed away from these fighter jets, then there are really only two possibilities. One, that this is something off-world, or that this was some sort of secret, unknown hypersonic aircraft that was mature and reliable enough at that time to be trusted with sensitive reconnaissance missions. And remember, these UFOs were at that time, and many times since, seen observing Iran's nuclear sites, which is a common denominator of many of these sightings all over the world, including here in America, where we have countless times it's been reported that these UFOs have been seen hovering above nuclear sites, ballistic missiles, shutting down said missiles, and rendering them useless, and this has happened to virtually every military in the world. So I guess the final question here, if you're still thinking, well, maybe this was some sort of secret American craft that could fly at speeds of Mach 10 in 1976, then if that is the case, then why has America been spending trillions of dollars to develop the highly troubled F-35 Joint Strike Fighter that can't even fly Mach 2? Furthermore, what type of American drone, or CIA drone, as they originally thought these were, do you know that can not only fly at a speed of Mach 10, but that can also slow down to a speed of 0, as in standing completely still in the sky? And not only that, but can also leave the Earth's atmosphere, entering space, and then coming back down. So again, just to recap, during the Tehran incident, the military encountered luminous, unidentified objects flying and hovering over their nuclear facilities. They sent out fighter jets to intercept them, only to have the fighter jets' communication systems, their radar, as well as their weapon systems completely shut down when they approached the UFO. The UFO then blasted off like a meteor, after which the troubled systems on the fighter jets came back to life and worked like normal. The UFOs also flew at least a speed of Mach 10, which is a speed that is absolutely pretty much unheard of in 2017, let alone 1976. I could see parallels being drawn from what happened there to this new UFO footage that we featured yesterday, where again we see a hovering white luminous orb that we can again see being fired upon by the anti-aircraft guns, the men on the buildings pointing to it, obviously having an interest and not knowing what they're looking at, and worrying enough about it to fire upon it. So, at the very least, I figured since we don't have a lot of information about this new sighting, that I could at least bring you up to speed with some other famous sightings that have occurred over Iran over the past 40 years. So with that, I will see you guys back here in just a bit. I've got new videos on the way, working on some new things, and going over new footage that has been coming into me. So be sure to stick around, subscribe if you haven't yet, share and throw me a like if you like the work I do, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your night. Stay safe, guys.